Hey, my name is Darson Grantham. I'm a real estate agent here in Des Moines, Iowa. And on this channel, I talk about everything that you need to know about living in Des Moines, moving to Des Moines. And on this specific video, I'm going to go through a virtual tour of the city of Des Moines. And if you're living in different suburbs or different areas, I'm going to pinpoint some of the areas that you are probably going to frequent as someone that lives in Des Moines because they're very popular areas. And I just want to kind of give you a virtual overview of the city of Des Moines. So if that's what you're looking for, stay tuned and let's dig in. Okay, so I have a map pulled up of the city of Des Moines. Very rudimentary. It is literally just the Google map, but what it does is it gives you a good idea of just generally the lay of the land of central Iowa. So I'm going to start off and talk about some of the videos that I've done in the past. And I've done videos on Ankeny. I've done videos out in Altoona. We've done videos down here in Norwalk. We've done videos out here in Waukee. And we've done Clive, Urbandale, and Johnston. I believe those are kind of the videos that we've done. And obviously you can see it's the suburbs of Des Moines is what we've talked about so far. And so what I want to do is kind of point out some very popular parts of Des Moines and how far of a drive in kind of the atmosphere that you're going to get when you live in these areas. So first, I'm going to start off. Downtown Des Moines is right here. So zoom out just a bit. Downtown is kind of that cross section of Highway 69 and 235. And even more so just a little bit to the west of that area. And it is where there is a lot of nightlife, a lot of restaurants, a lot of business. You have the Principal Financial Group there downtown. You have a couple pretty fun parks that you can go to, the Papa John's Sculpture Park. And then if we go out to the east just a bit, we get out to the Iowa State Capitol, which is really cool. They've got parks out there, just open grass, sculptures, just fun places to walk around and enjoy. And then you have kind of this Grand Avenue and then Locust Street. Those are two very main downtown roads. There's not a ton of business on them directly, but if you go just to the south, and I kind of tilt my head this way because the roads don't run east, west, north, south. They're kind of diagonal. For whatever way the city of Des Moines was built, that's just how it is. But one very main road that has a lot of, or main street that has a lot of food on it would be Court Avenue. Food, dining, whether you're going to Fong's Pizza is very popular, or if you're going to the downtown farmers market, whenever they have that throughout the summer, you're going to be looking at on Court Avenue. And that's the main downtown. So you have, I would call central downtown. And then when you go out west, you come out here to the Sculpture Park and you have restaurants, Americana, you have Centro, which is right here. Again, on that Grand and Locust, there is some, out the western side of downtown, there is some food that's on Locust and maybe Grand Avenue. But when we're talking the difference between downtown, central downtown, which is your Court Ave bar district, out to the west side of downtown, I mean, you're talking 10 blocks maybe. And then if we go out out to the east of downtown, and I say out, it's literally across the river bridge. There's a couple hotels, and you have a very hipster, trendy area, which is the East Village. And as you can see, I don't know if they call it East Village anywhere. Yeah, East Village Spa. You have the Iowa Tap Room. This has like hundreds of Iowa beers on tap, which is awesome. Just beers on tap in general. You have Uptown, which is an old school arcade, but for adults, where you're drinking beer and other drinks and playing different, adult games back in the like Pac-Man and Jenga and all that. You have Zombie Burger. It's a really cool burger place. I've never heard of Franca Pizzeria, but they're down there. You have your old school Beechwood Lounge, been around forever. And then you have your salons, East Village Spa, Salon Spa W, very high-end, ritzy spa, hair, nail treatment. Now, if you basically venture anywhere away from this kind of circle right here, you're getting into an area that's just less restaurants and foodie stuff, and more business, industrial, that type of thing. Yeah, you'll see some, Truman's, which is a good place to go downtown, but it's still not in the middle of everything. And so Martin Luther King Parkway goes this way. So you'll see Martin Luther King is one it's a weird road in Des Moines because it goes east-west when you get to this point on Fleur, but north of here, it goes north-south. As you can see, this is MLK. So you go MLK, and then you hit this little intersection right here, and then MLK starts going east-west. It's just weird. But anyway, what I was getting at on that is MLK on the southern side of downtown has kind of a revamped restaurant district where you have Principal Park, which is the Iowa or the Chicago Cubs AAA team, which is the Iowa Cubs. You have St. Kilda's is a good restaurant, and there's a little it's 300 MLK is the building, and there's just a handful of restaurants that are very good in there. And then you have over here new commercial developments that are being built. I don't know if you can tell. There's a Holiday Inn. You can't really tell on this map, but there is just a lot of restaurants, a lot of apartments that are being built kind of this south of downtown, which I think is going to grow the area. And in addition to that, which I posted in one of my videos, is they're building a lot of houses and development right here south of downtown. They call it kind of Cityville, Grace Parkway area, but they're building they built a bridge across Raccoon River over to Grays Lake, which is awesome. And Grays Lake is just a great place to walk around, picnic, play frisbee, a really, really cool area that's very walkable now that they've built that bridge. The other parts of downtown are Ingersoll. So if you're looking at other, restaurants, bars, and you don't want as busy area, but you still want to have some good food and see good people, you have Ingersoll, which is this road right here, and you have a lot of restaurants right there on Ingersoll. So Grand Avenue, there's a lot of residential apartment buildings on Grand Avenue. Here's some houses, some high-end, very nice south of Grand. It's a thing in Des Moines, south of Grand houses. But if you want kind of that good restaurant area that's even further west of downtown, it'd be that Ingersoll area. So now I'm going to back up. That was kind of the downtown quick tour. And what you're looking at here is a map of Des Moines. And if you're living out west and you're driving downtown, you're probably looking at a 10 to 12 minute drive. And out here, you still have a lot of restaurants. Don't get me wrong. You do not have to drive downtown to get to restaurants, but it is a very much more residential area out west. And you'll have houses that range from $250,000 upwards of $1 million, depending on the neighborhood. And as you can see, each of these, like their own little pocket neighborhoods. Ashworth and 50th has its own style of houses. Ashworth and 60th has its own style. You have some smaller parks, and we've done videos of JC Park, we've done videos of different parks like that have a community surrounding the park, but still really close to interstate access. You have Des Moines Golf Club if you just keep going out west, and then Jordan Creek Town Center, another very similar to downtown, a lot of restaurants, a lot of nightlife, and an area that a lot of housing is built around in order to get to Jordan Creek Parkway. You have Costco Food is right there, or Costco Wholesale. So if Costco is part of your daily life, you need to know that in the city of Des Moines, wherever you're going to live, if you need to go to Costco, you're going to need to go to this area right here. So if you're living up in Ankeny and you don't do the Sam's Club very well, and you want to go to Costco, you need to know you're going to be driving a good 30 minutes down here to Costco if you're living up in Ankeny, maybe even 40 minutes. Other places, Des Moines is growing considerably out toward the Grimes area. So there's Grimes Complex, which is a big sports complex, huge sports complex. And so, again, if you're wanting to live in Grimes and you want to you have to drive downtown to work, you need to know your Grimes to downtown. You're probably looking at a 30 to 35 minute drive. Let's actually just do this. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like 21 minutes on a good day, no traffic. That's awesome. So Grimes to downtown, that's what you're looking like. And then so Grimes to Jordan Creek, even closer, 17-minute drive. So Grimes, and there's a lot of housing. You don't have to live in Grimes to live with a Grimes address, because there's just a ton of development that's going on all the way around here, up here, a little bit towards Saylorville Lake. There's a lot of development that's going in. If you watched my Grimes or Johnston video, you'll see a lot of undeveloped land in those videos. Even though there is development that's happening, there's a lot of undeveloped. So other things, Norwalk. So Norwalk, if you're going there, if you're looking at living in Norwalk, or maybe some new development down near Cumming, you have a good 15 to 22 minute drive into downtown, or you're going out to west of Jordan Creek Parkway, and that's probably 15 minutes. Because Norwalk, you're going to jump on Highway 5 and you're going to take these interstates around. It's the interesting thing about Des Moines in general is that if you live close to any of these main interstates, and I say like Highway 5, I-35, 235, which kind of goes through the middle of the city, or I-80, if you live close to any of those, you can get anywhere in Des Moines in 20 to 25 minutes. And that's simply because they're huge 3, 4, 5 lane interstates that don't have much stoppage, and the traffic, it can be bad, but most of the time it's pretty good. Now, these kind of outliers that are growing quietly would be Adel, Van Meter, Cumming. I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of development that's coming in this area, in the southwest corner of Des Moines. Bondurant is growing considerably, and it's a really good school district that you cannot open enroll in. And so there's a lot of development that's happening kind of around here in Bondurant schools. Altoona, there's a lot of development that's coming out to the east of Altoona, and you're going to a school called Southeast Polk. So Altoona could be a place that you're going to live, and you're not going to go to Altoona schools. You'll go to Southeast Polk schools. So just keep that in mind. Southeast Polk kind of hits that south and east part of the county and school district. Something that people might be thinking about is working in Ames, living in the Des Moines area, I would say if you live downtown and you want to work in Ames, your drive is, I've done it before, it's about 40 to 45 minutes. If you're living in Ames, working in Des Moines, it's going to be longer because you're going with the traffic that drives into the city every day. And so that's going to be probably a 45 to 55 minute drive if you're living in Ames, driving to downtown. Now, if you're on the north side of Ankeny, and you're making the commute to Ames, it's really, even though that looks like a long ways, that's really just a 25 minute commute, 25 minute commute, because you're jumping on the interstate and you're just taking interstate the whole way. It's a really pretty quick drive. So I've hit on most of the areas that I wanted to touch on. So if you are considering moving to Des Moines and you need some, extra guidance on what's another popular area, where do people go, or what kind of houses can I get in different area, that's what me and our team does. So please reach out. Again, my name is Darson Grantham. I'm a real estate agent here in Des Moines, Iowa. I help people move to the city of Des Moines. It's growing considerably, a lot of new development, a lot of older houses that get rehabbed and aren't just have a lot of character to purchase. And our team does all of the above. So if you are looking at moving to Des Moines, please reach out. We're happy to help and get you lined up with a home that feels good. And that way you don't have to rent for a period of time and throw away that money. If you're really looking to build roots in Des Moines, let us help, and please reach out.